Young Marines, what a phenomenal evolution here at the 2022 Navajo Code Talker Day, honoring the Code Talkers, their families, the Navajo Nation. You know, we just wrapped up, the motivating 2 days of activities, and we were really humbled to see so many people show up. I don't think some of them knew it and some of them didn't, but we had a lot of people that came out to watch what was going on today. And so we're really thankful, and we're thankful for the Navajo Nation, the Office of the President and Vice President, the Executive Director, Jim Zwerlin with the Navajo Veterans Affairs Department, and the guest speakers we had come today so that we could do all of these activities and let our young Marines learn and enjoy some time here at Window Rock. The morning started, though, with the Navajo Code Talker Day Parade. Different venue, but same exciting event. And we had the opportunity for young Marines from all the different units to march in the parade and interact with people here in the Navajo Nation, other veterans and other organizations. What we're really excited about was we found our partners in the Marine Corps League, and we had an opportunity to interact, support, and have them support us. Even in the middle of Window Rock, Arizona, here we are with the Marine Corps League and the Young Marines working together here for the Navajo Code Talkers Parade. I'm joined by Mr. Bo. Sir,
hey, how are you doing?
You're the commandant in the local detachment?
Oh, yes, I am.
You want to explain who all you have here? Because I know we have some special guests.
Sure, of course. Again, I'm Commandant Bo Harwood of the detachment of Farmington, New Mexico for the Corporal Wilford Eli Billy Detachment 736 out of Farmington, New Mexico. And we are here joined with the family of Wilford E. Billy. We have all three of his daughters here.
Hoorah.
And then we also do have Gold Star parents of my good late close friend, Clifford Yazzie. And they are now associate members of our detachment. Hopefully we can get his family and his daughters as well, Wilford E. Billy, as associate members as well. But we do have our detachment, Madam Senior Vice Commandant Marie Nikolai, and then we have my mother, who's a big supporter, and then we also do have Marine, two Marines down at the end, and they're part of our detachment as well.
That's so awesome, because that really talks about keeping it in the Marine Corps family and keeping it in family. Ladies, gentlemen, so glad to have you host us, for us to be able to join with you and participate together. Outstanding. Hoorah!
Hoorah!
Well, it was such an honor for young Marines from around the country to be able to honor and just commemorate the Navajo Nation, and especially the Code Talkers. And we had a couple of troubles. I mean, there were some cattle grates we had to get over. Young Marines kind of tripping and falling, but at the end of the day, it was such an honor, and the young Marines had an amazing time being moto, as always, being able to yell and scream and motivate for a good cause.
Yeah, they were really motivated. Those were some deluxe cattle grates. I tell you, it was pretty good. You had to really pay attention, but it was a great parade overall.
Hello, Young Marines. Welcome to the Code Talkers Parade. I'm here with Young Marines from across the country being able to honor and represent our program for the Navajo Code Talkers. I am so honored to be here, being able to represent our organization and be able to support the Navajo Code Talkers, a group of people that have done so much for ourselves and our country.
March! Left! 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 Right!
I'm very proud because this is a very big event for this Navajo Nation. It's very cool to be back because I've done this for maybe 4 or 5 years, and it's a very good experience, and I hope a lot of people are able to come here.
You know, we're really honored to be here again at the Navajo Nation for the Code Talker Day celebrations, honoring the Code Talkers, young Marines from all around the country here marching out of Window Rock to the pavilion, where we're going to hear some of the Code Talkers and their families talk about their legacy and impact on our country.
Most importantly, I think really the foundation of who we are is for our land and our language and our way of life teaching. Today is a monumental occasion to recognize our Code Talkers. We thank you for your work here. One more time, give it up for our veterans. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're now going to do a recline.
Well, we're coming to the end of our summer here for the Young Marines, but what an amazing summer it has been, filled with activities and events and leadership schools. But who more to tell you about leadership schools than a recent ALS graduate and somebody that's been staffing them all summer long, Young Marine Master Sergeant Kute. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing actually pretty okay. How are you doing?
Doing well. Outstanding to see you. So what can you tell us about your leadership school experience this summer?
All right, so I was at ALS this summer, and what an amazing time. As like you hear when you go to the school, like JLS, you're being introduced to the leadership styles. SLS, they're teaching you how to develop more with your units and stuff. But ALS, you really hit it ground hard. Like I've learned so much about myself at ALS. I learned myself as a leader, as a person. I made some of my best friends at that school and have so many great memories from that school.
Hello, Young Marines. I'm Young Marine Sergeant Major Alexis Kaiser. I'm your Division 5 Young Marine of the Year. I'm here in Camp Atterbury in Indiana for the Division 5 Leadership Schools. Stay tuned with us this week as we follow along with these Young Marines' journey to become junior and senior leaders.
Hello, Young Marines. I'm Young Marine Sergeant Major Mario Cook, and I am here with your Division 5 Commander and also the School Director for the Division 5 Leadership Schools, Mr. Porta. And Mr. Porta, how long have you been directing these leadership schools?
About 6 years now.
6 years is a great amount of time to do leadership schools. What do you think that you've learned along the way?
A lot of things. I'm a true believer in life that you learn every day, and if you don't, you really shorten yourself. But you know, at first, like in anything in life, you're a little green at it, and you take positive feedback with the good and the bad, and you try to adjust the next year. So,
good afternoon. My name is Young Marine Staff Sergeant Cronin, and I'm from the nation's capital, Young Marines. So before the BFT, it was early, so I was a little bit nervous when we jogged over. I had a little bit of butterflies in my stomach. But when I was doing it, I just forgot all that. I was just focused on doing my thing. I focused on running. I focused on getting through the pull-ups, getting through the sit-ups, one step at a time. And then after, I was a little bit relieved that it was over, but I was really happy with my performance.
Hello, Young Marines. My name is Young Marine Master Gunnery Sergeant Funk from the Pyramid Rock Young Marines, and I'm currently serving as a Senior Leadership School's Sergeant Major. I'm here with Young Marine Gunnery Sergeant Baird, who is serving as a cadre for the Junior Leadership School. So far, what is one of the most motivating things you've noticed from the Young Marines?
Easily the most motivating thing, personally, is going to be the gradual improvement that is from the JLS when it comes to COD, closer to drill. We built them up from the basics, the heel-toe marching and the pivot and kick, all the way now to where they are having minimal corrections on the drill card.
So now, Young Marines, I'm here with Young Marine Sergeant Pavanka. And Pavanka, what activity did we just complete?
We just completed the Axis Challenge, Young Marine Sergeant Major.
So you mentioned that the Axis Challenge challenged you mentally. How is that going to tie into your success here, not only at the school, but your Young Marine career as well?
Mental toughness is extremely important in the Young Marines, especially here at Senior Leadership School. We need to have that extra self-discipline to get through the week when it comes to the drill card or uniform inspection, anything like that. For the rest of our Young Marine career, self-discipline, mental toughness, anything like that is extremely important when teaching the next generation of the Young Marines while supporting and holding up to the standard that our previous Young Marines have set for us.
All right. These junior and senior leaders are doing an amazing job at the Division 5 Leadership School, so stay tuned for more updates following their journey. I am the JLS Sergeant Major, Young Marine Sergeant Major Benson, signing off.
Outstanding. So now transitioning from being a student to now going out and teaching JLSs and SLSs, all these different leadership schools, can you tell me a little bit about your experience there?
So I taught 2 schools this summer. I taught JLS in Arizona.
Okay.
And as SLS, JLS in San Diego.
Okay.
The Yuma school was so much fun.
Outstanding.
The Young Marines were so motivated. It was a little bit of a smaller school, 12 students, but it was so much fun. Everyone was motivated. And we actually got to take the Young Marines to the flight line. They got to meet all of the Marines, see all the planes, and then everybody was just so motivated and happy to be there. That's the biggest thing. Everyone, if you don't want to be there, you're not going to get much out of it. But if you want to be there, you'll have so much fun. And that was really the big consensus from the 2 schools I taught this
Exactly. So with my experience with leadership schools, I got to teach a couple this summer as well. And the big thing is it's always so humbling and inspiring to see young Marines challenge themselves mentally, physically, and in every aspect of their leadership. And at these leadership academies, it's a great opportunity for them to do that and to learn all these different leadership skills, learn about themselves, fall down, occasionally mess up and fail, but at the end of the day, learn that failing is just part of success.
It definitely is.
What's up, Young Marines? We're about to start our PFT right now. We're in Lebanon, Tennessee for the Division III Tennessee Leadership School. Everybody's getting ready to do their PFT. We're going to get through these exercises and have a great one. Stay tuned for the rest of the day.
Hello, Young Marines. My name is Young Marine Sergeant Major Glasscox, your National Young Marine of the Year, and I'm here with
David Asfog. I'm the Leadership School Director for the 3rd Young Marine Division and the Tennessee Regiment.
Outstanding. So, Mr. Asfog, you've been with the program for a very long time, and specifically, you've been doing leadership schools for quite a while as well. What is something that keeps drawing you back about the program or about leadership schools?
Well, this is my 14th year doing the leadership school. What keeps drawing me back to wanting to do leadership schools and provide that kind of training for the young Marines is a lot like the young man you are standing in front of me. I remember when Mr. Glasscox came to our junior leadership school and our senior leadership school, and he's also cadre to school for us as well. So a lot of that has to do with watching these young Marines mature in the program, not just as a young Marine, but also as a fine young person. And you know, when I see a young man like you go up through the program, it just motivates me up. You know what? Anytime I think about not wanting to do school, I just think about the successes of our leadership school.
One of our classes today is close order drill. This is where these young Marines get to practice for their drill evaluation. And a lot of them have not even marched in front of a platoon before, but that's why we're out here practicing to make sure that those drill evaluations go perfectly when the time comes.
Going back as a cadre, it is so humbling. Seeing them come in day one and seeing them graduate, it's very different from what you see, and that is the best experience I've seen as a cadre member.
Outstanding. Well, I appreciate you being here with us, giving us a little bit of the insight on your experience.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Mr. Sergeant.
You know, thanks, Young Marine Master Sergeant Kute, for coming in and bringing some of your perspective on leadership schools. And I think it's important to remember, you know, we're getting ready for next year's schools.
Yeah, so Young Marines, just remember, stay out there, stay active, and keep engaging in your units and keep trying to better yourselves. I mean, these leadership schools, in my experience, have been some of the most fun that I've ever had in the program. But to get there, there's a couple requirements. So make sure you're staying in your guidebooks, you're staying on top of your DDR hours, all of your community service, so that you can have the opportunity to go.
You know, that's so important. And part of it, it's not only important for your leadership schools, but also for those of you who want to compete for the of the year programs. Make sure you've got all your qualifications in and done by the end of September.
Hello, Young Marines. Welcome to Window Rock, Arizona, where I'm here with Young Marines from across the country doing a community service cleanup project for the Navajo Code Talkers. Now, the Code Talkers are some World War II veterans that were imperative to our success in winning World War II. They used their native speaking language to help encode messages and ultimately help us win World War II. And we're so excited to be here, being able to give back to those veterans and being able to do just a little bit of a service project for them. And here's the man himself. How you doing, sir?
The man next to the man.
Good to see you.
Hey, good to see you, Young Marines Sergeant Major Glasscox. Hey, they're doing a great job. You know, we have Young Marines from all these different units around the area that came in, doing a great cleanup here of Veterans Park and the area around it. And then we're gonna head over to the zoo for a cleanup.
We stand here in front of the Navajo Code Talker Memorial in Window Rock, Arizona at the Veterans Memorial Park. The statue was erected here to honor the 400 plus Navajo men that went to serve for our country in the United States Marine Corps as radio operators. And then they were talking and said, you know, after all those years of being mistreated, these gentlemen stepped up and they did something so miraculous and saved our country. And that's why we got to keep this memorial strong and forever, to keep that memory of these gentlemen going strong.
So you go around, and we'll go ahead and go around the whole zoo, and we'll be picking out certain areas that we need to clean up.
You know, here we are wrapping up this event, but we have just been on a roll for the last like 4 weeks. You and I both at different locations. But our paths did cross in the outskirts of Illinois, outside of Chicago, for our first ever Camp Chester, sponsored by the alumni for our younger young Marines. You were in it to win it for the whole week. Tell me more about what I missed.
Absolutely one of my favorite events. So the Alumni Association's first ever event that they put on, Camp Chester. It's for boys and girls ages 8 through 12. And the point of the camp is just to give young Marines an outstanding first experience where they can go, meet new friends, have new experiences, and overall just create those lifelong lasting memories. It was an outstanding experience, and I could tell because everyone had fun. Because I know I had fun, everybody was having fun.
They were all having fun until about 3 o'clock when they were all done for the day. And they needed a little rest and recovery.
It was nap time.
And then they came back strong.
It was
every
nap
night.
time. Yes,
Super awesome. Even Chester. Chester made the rounds.
Chester made a little surprise experience. Finally got promoted to Lance Corporal Chester.
Lance Corporal Chester. You know, while the summer's coming to an end, events never end in the Young Marines program. So as we're coming into the following months, we've got so many activities going on. We'll be going to the Glock shoot at Talladega in September. That'll be awesome. There's a couple more leadership academies coming up that I know of. There's a couple other events. Well, the big one for us is we're going to the Marine Corps League Summer Convention next week, where the Marine Corps League Commandant will recognize Mr. Glasscox as the new National Young Marine of the Year. So we're really excited to be going to Daytona next week.
Yes, sir. And a couple more big events coming up, especially in Division 6. They have their Idaho encampment, which is going to be a blast, camping up in the trees, and also their Big Bear encampment, where over 400 young Marines are supposed to be in California for just an amazing encampment.
You know, having been to Camp Morningstar a couple times with Division 6, you are going to have an amazing time. They have such a great time up there, and 400 young Marines. They're going to be doing a little of everything, you know, and the folks up in Idaho doing that. And I know there's other young Marine events going on around the country celebrating the end of summer. And we are so excited to have all those young Marines getting together, hanging out, keeping those friendships, making new friendships, and just doing all the amazing things that young Marines do around the country. But I think it leads us to the end of this exciting episode of the Young Marine News Network.
Yes, sir.
You know, Sergeant Major Glasscox, it's great. Our first time out for Young Marine News Network. And I tell you, you've hit the ground running really hard since the ALC.
Yes, sir, I have.
Hit the ground hard, but that's great. Out there engaged with the communities, busy at every level, from camps to leadership schools and all those other activities in between. Thanks for all you're doing.
Yes, sir.
To promote the program and represent us all around the country.
Absolutely.
I look forward to the rest of an outstanding year with you.
As do I.
Thank you so much, Young Marines, for joining us for this summer edition of the Young Marines News Network. My name is Young Marine Sergeant Major Glasscox, your National Young Marine of the Year. And remember, stay motivated, stay engaged, and live to inspire.
Young Marines, live that healthy, drug-free lifestyle today and every day throughout the year. Hoorah!